Hi guys, a very warm welcome to all of you in our YouTube channel Gurmantra Siksha Ka Granth. I'm your educator Saranya and today we are going to study adaptive immunity. Okay, so the adaptive immune response provides the vertebrate immune system with the ability to recognize and then remember a particular pathogen and generate immunity against that particular pathogen. So in adaptive immune response, what happens is a particular pathogen will be recognized and it will be remembered, and immune response will be generated against that particular pathogen. So when the pathogen enters the body for the second time, okay, so when the pathogen enters the body for the second time, stronger attack will be there on the pathogen. Okay, so the ability to recognize and remember specific pathogens to generate immunity and mount stronger attacks each time the pathogen is encountered. So this is called as adaptive immunity. So the cells of the adaptive immune system are type of leukocytes. They are called as lymphocyte. B cells and T cells are involved in adaptive immunity. So what is B and T cells they do is they create the memory of the pathogen. Okay, so they will remember the type of pathogen it is, and if in future the attack by the same pathogen happens, the system will be able to defend that pathogen very well. A very strong and faster immune response will be created when the pathogen is attacking the body for the second time. So B and T cells can create memory cells that will defend against the future attacks by the same pathogen. By mounting a stronger and faster adaptive immune response against that pathogen before it can even cause the symptoms of infection. So antigen presenting cells are type of cells, okay. So what they will do is they will present the antigen to the lymphocytes. Antigen presenting cell can be your macrophages, it can be your B cells also. So they will present the antigens to the lymphocytes, that is immature lymphocytes. So when these immature lymphocytes come in contact with the antigen, they will become mature. They will become mature enough to be able to specifically attack that antigen and destroy the pathogen completely. So immature lymphocytes will mature to be specific to that particular antigen and works to destroy the pathogen that is making this antigen. So hypersensitivity disorders like allergies can happen due to adaptive immune response that will form against the antigens that are not produced by the pathogens. So hypersensitivities are nothing but allergic reactions that is happening in the adaptive immune response that will be caused against the antigens that is not produced by the pathogens like pollen grains. Okay. So what happens is when pathogen enters your body, initial response will be like this. Okay, initial first exposure, antibody and effector T cells will be formed. You can see the initial response will be very high. If the infection is happening again, you will not even know that infection is happening because within weeks protective immunity will be formed. You will not even know. Okay. So if there is any infection, you will not even know. After some years, if you are getting the same infection, there will not be any symptoms at all because of the presence of memory cells that is involved in the adaptive immune response. So what is the difference between innate and adaptive immune system? Innate immune system reacts very quickly, like within minutes to hours. Adaptive immune system is slow, it takes days to gather. Specificity of innate immune system is not specific. It is not specific, but adaptive immune system is highly specific. It can discriminate between what is a pathogen and what is a non-pathogen also. And major type of cells involved in innate immunity are macrophages, neutrophils, NK cells, dendrites, dendritic cells, basophils and eosinophils. And for adaptive immune system, B cells and T cells and antigen presenting cells will be involved. The key components of innate immunity is like complement proteins and all, and in adaptive immunity, antibody is the key component. Innate immune system is able to distinguish between the self and non-self. Similarly, adaptive immunity, it is not as good as innate immune system, but it will still be able to determine between the innate self and non-self cells. Sometimes there is a problem with the discrimination between the self and non-self cells, which will lead to the autoimmune disorders. Next is immunological memory is not formed in innate immunity, but it is formed in adaptive immunity. Diversity and customization is limited here, and in adaptive immunogenicity it is very high. So what is the function of adaptive immune system? The first is to recognize the self cell and non-self cells. The second one is to eliminate the pathogens completely, and the third one is to form the immunological memory of the pathogen, so that if the pathogen is entering again, quickly it will be eliminated. So you can see here, these are the cells which are involved in the innate immune system, and these are the cells which are involved in the adaptive immune response. So in adaptive immune system, B cells and T cells are playing the major role. So what is cell mediated immunity and humoral mediated immunity? Cell mediated immunity means it is controlled by the T helper cells, which means TH cells, and cytotoxic T cells, which are TC cells. So cell mediated immunity is controlled by TC cells and TH cells, and these type of cells are activated by the antigen presenting cell, okay, which causes them to rapidly mature into a form that they can destroy the antigen. Next is the cells. The T cells will circulate throughout our body to find the pathogen and destroy it. The helper T cells are there, right? They will facilitate the immune response, okay, by guiding the cytotoxic T cells to the pathogens. So these helper T cells or TH cells will guide the TC cells, okay, they will guide the TC cells towards the pathogen and to destroy the pathogen infected cells or the pathogen itself. Okay. So cytotoxic T cells will then kill the pathogens. It has several ways, like granules will be released. We already studied that granules are toxic to the pathogens. Perforin granzyme pathway can be used. Small pores will be created in the membrane of the pathogen and lysis of the pathogen can happen. Then the T cells produces proteases that will enter the pathogen and can cause apoptosis in the pathogen. Next is the T helper cells will also secrete the cytokines like interferon gamma, interleukins, which will activate the cytotoxic T cells and macrophages and bring them to the site of infection to clear that particular infection. So next is humoral mediated immunity. So humoral mediated immunity is also a component in your adaptive immune response, and in this B cells, antibodies, type 2 helper cells, mast cells, eosinophils, all of these will be involved, particularly B cells and antibodies. So the type 2 helper cells are included in this humoral immunity because they will present the antigens to the immature B cells. So the T2 helper cell acts like a antigen presenting cell and present the antigens to the B cells which are immature. The B cells will become activated and mature, and they will undergo proliferation to become specific to particular antigen and produce antibodies. So the B cells then rapidly produce a large amount of antibodies that will circulate through the body's plasma, that will be circulating in our body. So the antibodies provide a number of functions in the humoral mediated immunity. All antibodies will bind to the pathogen and opsonize them, which makes it easier for the phagocytic cells to bind and destroy the pathogens. So also neutralization of toxins will be happening, okay, by complement pathway activation, where the classical pathway in which we saw the antigen antibody complex will be recognized in the classical pathway. Membrane attack complex formation will be taking place and the lysis of the cell will happen. So mast cells and the eosinophils are also a part of the humoral mediated immunity only because they will sensitize towards certain antigens that will be circulating in our body, that is immunoglobulin E. Ig epsilon, that is also a type of antibody which is produced by your B cell. This IgE will bind to the mast cells and eosinophils when it is detecting an antigen, okay, and it will cause degranulations, which means inflammatory mediators will be released, and these inflammatory mediators are a immune response against the antigen. So this process is why memory B cells can also cause hypersensitivity reaction, because circulating IgE, that is immunoglobulin E, from the memory cells will cause inflammatory reaction as the immune response. Okay. So you can see this is the hematopoietic stem cell from which you get myeloid progenitor and lymphoid progenitor. In myeloid progenitor you are getting thrombocytes, platelets, erythrocytes, which means RBC, mast cells, basophils, neutrophils, eosinophils. Monocyte will become macrophage. And in lymphoid progenitors you get NK cells, T lymphocytes and B lymphocytes. So this part, the lymphoid progenitor will be giving you T cells and B cells which are involved in the adaptive immunity. And all of the cells present in the myeloid progenitor will be involved in the innate immune system. So what are the types of T cells? So first type of T cells which we are going to talk about is cytotoxic T cells. Okay, so cytotoxic T cells, they are also called as CD8 T cells because CD8 is a marker that is present on cytotoxic T cells. So cytotoxic T cells will kill the target cell by releasing toxic granules and the cell will be killed. So these cells will recognize a particular antigen when that will be presented by the MHC1 molecule, MHC class 1. Okay, so when MHC class 1 is presenting an antigen, that will be recognized by the TC cell, and this will be present on all the nucleated cells. This MHC1 is present on all the nucleated cell. The MHC class 1 molecules will interact with the protein called as CD8, which is a marker present on the cytotoxic T cells, and this is useful for the identification of TC cells. The TC cells are required to be activated from dendritic cells and T helper cells. So T helper cells and dendritic cells will help in the activation of TC cells. The main function of this cell is to kill the virus infected cells, cancer cells, tumor cells will be killed by TC cells. Next is your T helper cells, which is also called as CD4 plus T cells. Okay. This kind of cells, that is T helper cells, will have the marker CD4 on top of it. So these cells, that is T helper cells, will become activated when the antigens are presented to T helper cells by MHC class II molecules. So there is MHC class II molecules which will present the antigens to the T helper cells, which will cause the activation of T helper cells. So MHC class II molecules will interact with CD4 marker which is present on T helper cells for identification purpose, and this cells will be activated. When T helper cell is activated, it will release cytokines and helps in the activation of B cells and TC cells. When it is activating B cells, the B cells will produce antibodies, and this is for the regulation of adaptive immune response. Next type of T cell is memory T cell. So after an infection, the antigen specific memory T cells will be formed. This memory T cells will be important when the second time infection happens. When second time infection happens, quickly that infection will be cleared. So they will provide the immune system with the memory against the previously encountered antigens. Memory cells can be TC cells or it can be T helper cells. So T cells can be T regulatory, T helper, T cytotoxic. If it is T regulatory, it will have the marker CD4 plus, CD25 plus, interleukin 10 and TGF beta will be produced by T regulatory cells. If it is T helper cells, it will have CD4 plus marker, and T cytotoxic will have CD8 plus marker. T helper cell is itself divided into TH1 and TH2. TH1 will help the macrophages to produce the inflammatory response by releasing interleukin 2 and interferon gamma. TH2 cells will induce the B cells to produce immunoglobulins or antibodies, and TH2 cells will release interleukin 4, 5 and 10. Next type of cells which we are going to talk about is B cells and types of B cells. So the first one is plasma cell. Once the B cell is activated by the T cells, of course, this will differentiate into plasma cells. So plasma cells are the cells, they are large lymphocyte with large amount of endoplasmic reticulum in them, and they will be able to produce antibodies which is specific to a particular antigen. They respond to signals from T cells during the infection and they will produce the antibody. So plasma cells are often found in the chronic infection and inflammation. Next is memory B cells. When we spoke about the plasma cells, you can see here the plasma cells can be activated by either antigen directly binding to the B cell, or if an antigen cannot bind to the B cell, that will be recognized by the T cell, and the T cell will activate the B cell, and the B cell will be becoming plasma cell and will release the antibodies. So the next type of cell is memory B cell. So memory B cell is other type of B cell that will differentiate into memory B cell, and they are also activated. They are long lived. They will be present for a very long period of time in our body after the infection. So if the host is re-exposed to the same antigen again, so this will cause the production of antibodies more quickly and elimination of the antigens. So next type is T-independent B cells. So T-independent B cells. So most B cells will require the T cells to be activating them to produce a particular antibody against the antigen. So This type of T-independent B cell does not require T cell activation. They are found in spleen and peritoneum, peritoneal fluids and all. So they are particularly important for dealing the encapsulated bacteria, okay, which often has a polysaccharide coat on top of it. So T-independent B cells are able to recognize the layers of this microorganism and produce the antibody against them without the need of T cell to activate them. So basically T independent B cell will be activated directly by the pathogens. It does not require T cell help to activate them. Okay, so these are the type of B cells. So I hope adaptive immunity is clear to you guys. If you are a CSIR net aspirant, you can take detailed paid class subscription from CSIR UGC Net category in our Unacademy platform and follow Neha Taneja ma'am. If you want 10% discount, you can use the referral code Neha, okay, for Unacademy platform. So you can like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel Gurmantra Shiksha Ka Granth. If you have any queries, you can contact us